Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek. Welcome to episode 157 of Friday Night Appointment with Fear. And this week we're looking at The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, aka The Conjuring 3. So that should be fun, although it might not be one of my better breakdowns. Not that my breakdowns are any good anyway, but I've only seen this film once, which was yesterday, and I've had a mad couple of days and I haven't had a chance to do anything, so we'll fumble through. And Justin's here already saying, hello everyone, happy Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Oh, it's Black Friday today, isn't it? Yes, happy Thanksgiving to everybody over the pond. Hope you had a nice holiday over yonder. We don't celebrate it over here because we've nothing to be thankful for. But we have. But you know what I mean. It's not one of our holidays. But I'm glad you have it and you all enjoy it. I know Canada has one as well. Is theirs in October? I know it's a bit earlier, isn't it? But anyway. So yes, what was I saying? The Conjuring 3, that's what we're doing. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Right, we're live on YouTube, yes we are. We're live on Rumble, yes we are. And we're live on Twitch. Don't know why I keep doing Twitch. Explore the description for links for stuff like merch and me books. Where are they? Hang on, just move my Zat gun out of the way from the other night. My books. Hang on, there's other things. What else is there? Oh, some Christmas cards. Sorry, I've got things piled up on top of my books. Want some more cards? Tell you. Where were we? My books. There they are. Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff. And Silent Predator, short horror novella about a genetically engineered big cat eating people in a North Yorkshire village. There we go. One's thin, one's thick. They're on Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. I'll put my Christmas card back. Right. What else? And also links for my websites and my other channels and stuff like that. And my social medias. Facebook, Instagram, X, etc. I'm contemplating starting up my Patreon again. But I don't know. Because I always think I don't have enough stuff to put on it. And I don't people pay in to go on Patreon? I know you can do like free Patreon. I might do free Patreon. And just have it as like a backup to the YouTube. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But I might do. So maybe Patreon will make a comeback. Who knows? There's also my Spotify page as well. Which I put stuff up on. Right, so is that it? Oh, I become a member and then get early access videos and exclusive videos and emojis or whatever in the chat and stuff like that. Right, and super thanks and super chat. We greatly appreciated. Right, can we get on with it now? Right, okie dokie. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Originally it was going to be called The Conjuring 3, as in The Conjuring 2 came before it. But they decided to call it The Devil Made Me Do It after The Devil Made Me Do It case, murder trial of Anne Cheyenne Johnson, no relation, as far as I know, which took place in 1981 in Connecticut, which Ed and Lorraine Warren had a connection with, as how we put it. As I said, I don't know a huge amount about the case itself. In fact, I don't bugger all about it. But I know that in earlier proceedings, before the murder happened, Ed and Lorraine Warren had something to do with an exorcism with a young boy, and then the demon, or the whatever, transferred to Anne Johnson, and they were connected with that. But I don't know if they were connected afterwards. But in this film, they definitely are. But anyway, as with all the Conjuring films, they take huge liberties with the facts. So we'll just leave it at that. Anyway, it had a budget of $39 million, which is a lot, isn't it? It is for a horror film. But anyway, box office was $200 million, so they always do well, don't they, these sorts of films. And it stars Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson as usual, and then, oh God, how the hell do you pronounce that? It's obviously an Irish name. It's spelled Ruairi. Being Irish, that could be like Bob. Because, you know, Irish names I like. But I don't know, Ruari, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. O'Connor, Sarah Catherine Hook, Julian Hilliard, and a guest appearance, I suppose you could say, from the great John Noble. I love John Noble. Music by Joseph Bishara, as usual, if you can call it music. I don't know. It's just like atmospheric sounds, isn't it, really? But James Wan didn't direct this one. This one directed by Michael Chavez, and he had previously done, I think, I'm wondering now, I can't remember, The Curse of La Llorona, which I didn't like. But this one's not too bad. No, and Justin, a $2 super chat. I'm thankful for a lot, and you, brother. As in me. Thank you very much, Justin. I am thankful for the super chat and your friendship and everybody's friendship who joins us in the chat or just watches at home. The billions watching around the world. The billions and billions, to paraphrase Carl Sagan. But anywho, where were we? The Conjuring. So anyway, so as I said, it's loosely based, we'll say loosely based or inspired by a real case, as were the other films, but they take a lot of, license with the facts. But anywho, we'll go through it, and I'll probably forget everything about it because I've only seen it once, but we'll muddle through. So I'll pop myself down in the corner and we'll get on with it, shall we? Dear, just bear with me while I get myself sorted. There we go. Down I go in the corner. Let me full screen this baby and we'll get on with it. Obviously, we're not going to watch the film. It's a review and breakdown. We'll go through it in a series of stills. May play the odd snippet, but we will see. I forgot what I was doing. Oh, adding it to the stage. That's I forgot what I was doing. Right, so off we go. Right, there's the good old Warner Brothers logo. I do like how Warner Brothers likes filmmakers to integrate the logo into the film. I like it when they do that. It gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling. But anyway. Right, so off we go. Right, so... by the way, I like the Atomic Monster ident. That's James Wan's production company. I just think it's a cool ident. Right, so come on, get on with it. Right, so we're going to begin with an exorcism of young David. I forgot the name of the bloody family. I'm thinking Gatley, but I don't think it is that. Where is it? Come on, where are you? Glatzel, not Gatley, Glatzel. Of young David Glatzel. The Emily Rose movie and the case it was based on is crazy. I heard the actual case tape, scary. Yes, the Exorcism of Emily Rose is one of my favourite horror films. We've done it a while ago. But it's based on the... Oh God, I've forgotten the bloody name now. I can't remember. It's a German girl, wasn't it? Based on that. Where she was being exorcised and she died, didn't she? The call now. One of the Paranormal Entity films were based on that case as well, and I forgot a blooming name. Never mind. But yes, that is freaky. They do actually play in this film that we're watching now. Hello, there I am. They do actually play some tapes at the end of the actual. I don't know if it's of the exorcism of young David Glatzel. Or interviews with him. They do play tapes of that, like they did at the end of Conjuring 2, where they played the tapes of the girl that I think faked the voice, but they played those tapes as well. Right, so anyway, so here we go. Right, so exorcism is underway. Here they are. There's Patrick Wilson as Ed Warren, and he goes through the ringer in this film because his health's not improving, or his health's getting really bad in this film. I mean, in real life, Ed Warren were a big fella, wasn't he? He were a big chap. So he obviously had health problems. Anyway, there's Vera Farmiga as Lorraine. So they're getting on with this exorcism. they're talking to him first. That's young David Glatzel there. That's Anne Johnson, who is a friend of the Glatzel family. In fact, is we'll say is the fiance of the Glatzel parents' daughter, Debbie, and he does actually marry her eventually. That's Daddy Glatzel. I don't know his bloody name. I don't know the names of any of the characters. Does it tell us? I'll have to look. Just bear with me. I'm not sure. I know there's Carl Glatzel, but he was David Glatzel's brother. Have they changed it so that Carl is now the dad? Yes, because I think Carl Glatzel, his brother was Carl Glatzel Jr. But we don't see him in this film. I don't know why. But he was involved, I think, with the film, but he doesn't appear in it, and they didn't write him into it. But the dad, father, Glatzel Senior is Carl Glatzel Senior, and Judy Glatzel is the mother. Anyway, so we're going to learn later on how this began with young David. He started hearing voices and seeing like an old man and stuff like that. But we see all that later on. At the moment, they're getting on, or they're going to get on with the exorcism. So they're putting him into Arnie's putting him into bed, and then looks out the window. I think in a minute we see that he gets on with him. I'll not let anything happen to you. And then a taxi pulls up. I thought it was a police car at first, but it's a taxi. And he gets out, and this is the Exorcist. And there he is. They're just recreating that famous image from that famous film about that Exorcist with Max von Sydow in, but no shaft of light bathing him. But anyway, it's when they didn't have tubular bells playing or a variation of it. Do that? I don't know. Let's have a listen. I'm going to go back a bit. And see if they do a do 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 do. But I bet they don't. No, they don't. Maybe that would have been a bit too much. Anyway, this is Father Thingamabob. I can't remember the bloody names. Father Gordon, who I think has been in some of the other films, in the other Conjuring. I think he's been in the other two Conjuring films, and I think he was in Annabelle as well. But he has featured in the others. He was a friend of the Warrens. Right. So anyway, wakes up in the night. There's David, and he hears a noise coming from. He's got a bathtub in his bedroom. It seems to have, or maybe it's just, I don't know. Is it in his bedroom, or is he? He hears a noise. He looks out. The must be the next room, but I don't see him going into a different room. He just gets out of bed. Oh, it's there. Look, it is a different room. It's en suite. Anyway, so there we go. He sees something in the bath. Oh no, he don't. Tell you. I've watched this film once. He gets in the bath. That's it. And then we see some creepy fingers up there pretending to be shower curtain hooks. It is kind of creepy. I like stuff like that in films. But then it all kicks off. There we go. Blood comes out of the shower thing, or red water. He's all screaming. And the good is, what's up with you? And then he attacks his dad, stabs him in the leg with a piece of glass. There we go. And he's freaking out. And said, no, the priest is saying, we've got to get him to the church to start the exorcism. And the Warrens are saying, no, we've got to start now. You notice there's big scratches on the door there. Look, we'll see some more of them in a minute. Anyway, so Ed picks him up and starts taking him down the stairs. And it's as though he's only a little kid. It's as though he's struggling in his arms, but it's as though he's holding him back. As though he can't hold him back. And we see that, there we go, he's reaching out to the wall. We don't actually touch the wall, but we see these claw marks appear, there we go, in the wall, which I thought were pretty cool, I must admit. I imagine none of this actually happened. But anyway, so they get him on the table. This is Ed and Lorraine Warren's friend, intern, I don't know. He does all the filming and the sound and stuff like that. I've no idea. We're in the previous film, wasn't he? We're in Conjuring 2, but I've no idea what his name is. I can't remember. And I don't know. I'm looking down the list to see if I can see who he is. I don't know what his name is. We'll say he's called Bill. I don't know. Why ain't he in the cast list? He must be here somewhere. He's not there. Drew? Is it Drew? Does that look like him? Let me open the link in a new window and I'll let you know. Yes, I think. It's Drew. Where were we? So they're getting ready. So they're going to start exercising him. He's got his exorcism book out. Exorcisms for Dummies. I wonder if there is one of them. Do I think being possessed is real? I don't know. I'm open, I'm not sure. I don't know. Part of me saying yes, because I think there are forces in the universe that we don't understand and we never will. But is such a thing as demons and angels and things of that nature that can possess a person, inhabit their body, make them do things, or is it a form of mental illness? I don't know. The logical part of me says no, it's all mental illness, but another part of me, quite a big part of me, thinks that yes, there is something weird going on, and it's not entirely to do with mental health. So I know it's not an answer, but it'll have to do. Anyway, so he's got his Exorcism for Dummies out, Bell, Book and Candle, and he's going through all that. Lorraine's having like one of her vision fits things. She sees stuff. Anyway, so he's the priest is splashing holy water onto David, and then all his face starts bubbling up. He starts screaming and shouting, and obviously the voice is going all like that, two larynxes, the double voice, always do with demons. But anyway, so he kicks people over, makes people fall over. He's screaming and shouting, he's cackling as well. We see that he's cackling, and all his skin's all bubbling. He's knocked over the camera there. That's why we're seeing this Twilight Zone stuff going on the monitors. Anyway, and then he contorts, does David. There we go. Here we go. He contorts, and all of this, which I didn't know until I read, I think it might be in the IMDb trivia. Because on the Blu-ray, there's not much on the Blu-ray. There's like a couple of behind-the-scenes things, but that's about it. Not a lot. But this is all in camera. They've got a contortionist, a 12-year-old contortionist who could tie herself up like a pretzel. And the only visual effect in it is that they replaced her face with the young actor that plays David. So she ties herself up in a knot. That's actually, she actually did that, and they just replaced her face with David. She actually tied herself up in a knot. Anyway, he grabs hold of Ed, grabs hold of his chest. He goes, "I'll stop your heart, old man." And so this is supposedly, I suppose, what starts Ed's health problems, because for the rest of the film is not well. He does end up in hospital. They've got to, he's having like a heart attack. But anyway, so he's on top of Ed and he's killing Ed basically. And then Arnie, there he is, who's played by, I've probably said his name already. Ruari O'Connor. How the hell do you pronounce that? I'm going to see if I can see if it says on his Wikipedia page, because he does have one. He's an Irish actor. Yes, I'd guess that. How the hell do you spell it? Pronounce it, I mean. It doesn't say, for God's sake. So, we're going to find out. Just bear with me. Because we're live. Oh, what am I doing? Ruari. How do you spell pronunciation? Whatever. I think that's right. Ruari pronunciation. How to pronounce, whatever that says. There we go. Right. I found a YouTube channel, so you'll hear this in a minute.
Pronounce names. The Irish pronunciation
right.
of this name is
Rory.
Right. So it's Rory. Right, fair enough. Not Bob, as I suggested earlier. Anyway, comes in, does Arnie, and he grabs hold of David, and this is where he says, there we go. He says, leave him alone, he's only a kid. If you want somebody, take me. And then the demon jumps from, we don't see it, but jumps from David into Arnie. And there we go, there we can see it's gone into him because his eyes have gone funky. So from now on, he's possessed. But they don't realise it at the time, but Ed sees it. But he's not in a position to tell anybody. There we go. He's looking, he's the only one that sees it. Then he goes back to normal. And they think it's all over. They think it's all over. But we see Ed, it's not well, so she's saying, call 911. And then, we get to... Then they're going to get the credits. The exorcism of 8-year-old David Glatzel was meant to end the months of torment, but for Arnie Johnson, it was just... They do pronounce it Arnie, by the way, in the film. It was just the beginning. The tragic events that followed made nationwide headlines and led Ed and Lorraine Warren to the most sinister discovery of their career. They say that for every film, don't they? But anyway, based on the true story. The Conjuring, the devil made me do it. Right, so we're in hospital now, and Ed's stabilised. They say he's had a heart attack, and they've got to put a stent in his blood vessels or whatever. But he's not well. He's not well. Oh, pardon me. Justin says, I'm a Christian, just a sinner saved by grace. I believe it is real. Yet maybe different than we understand. I say I'm open to anything. Anything's possible because we live in a mad universe, don't we? So anything's possible. As I said, I'm not particularly religious, but I'm open. I'm not, I don't poo-poo it either. So as I said, I'm open to anything. I think there are forces out there that we'll never understand, and the closer we think we're getting to understand them, the further away they'll get. They'll change the rules. Oh dear. Have a little drink of water. Anyway. Anywho. But I don't know, as I said, I'm not sure if there's like a devil and obviously a god or angels and stuff like that, but there are forces out there. But maybe there is. But right, so there goes. Put a stent in his artery, and anyway, so he's not so well. Right, so meanwhile, back at Arnie's, he's slept in. I think he's been staying with the Glatzels because this is I forgot her name. Oh, Debbie. This is Debbie. I think it's Debbie. Am I right? Yes, this is Debbie. Who is kind of his fiancée. I think they're just boyfriend and girlfriend at the minute, but they do become fiancés. Eventually. She's getting him out of bed. He's slept in with no notion that he's possessed yet. I don't think even he knows. But he's suggesting that they move away. Now this thing with David's all done and dusted, and everything will settle down. He says, let's move away. She says, well, my family's here, and all that. So he says, well, think about it. She says, yeah, okay. Anyway, so... Right, so everybody's off doing their daily stuff, and this is where Debbie works. She works at like a pet thing. I'm not entirely sure what it is she does. They've got loads of animal dogs and stuff in cages and that, and I'm not exactly sure where it is. Let me see if it says here. Doesn't say. But hang on, just bear with me. I'm looking up stuff. See if it says here what it is they do. Right. Oh, yes, David, what about Arnie works at like a tree surgeon thing place, Right Tree Services. We see him up a tree in a bit. Debbie works at a kennel, so it must be like a dog hotel or something. Whatever, I don't know, but it's a kennel where she works. And her boss was called I can't remember, Bono. What was his first name? Just bear with me. Alan Bono, but they've changed his name in this. I think they've changed. I think they call him Bruno in this. Yeah, they do. But anyways, that's Bruno, her boss at this kennel, and is that where they're staying? Oh, so that she's living there at the kennels because he says, "I'm letting you live here rent free," and because he's not a nice person, he's her boss, but he doesn't seem a particularly wicked or horrible person. He's just not particularly nice. But anyway, she's telling him what to do with some of the animals. Maybe she's going away or whatever. And he's obviously good with electronics because Bruno says he wants him to fix his record player or his music centre or whatever. Remember we used to call them music centres back in the day. Anyway. Right, so here's some sort of family get together. We see that David seems quite okay now. Yes, we think something spooky is happening because some cereals, I think it's this box of cereals, or at least one of the boxes of cereals, just falls over. Misty, there it goes. Hang on, I'm going to show it. There it goes. It just falls over as though some supernatural force has done it, but it's not. It's a rat. So he goes to check on it. We see a rat come running out. He's going to show it any second now. There it goes. There it goes. Or a big mouse. I don't know, but we'll say rat. So he's like, oh crikey! So he goes running after it, and we see all the the scratch marks from the possession of David and all that. They haven't got rid of them yet. Anyway, it follows the rat to a big, massive, horrible-looking hole in the wall. As though I won't look into that. It's not just a hole made by a rat. It's I don't know. It's obviously evil. So it goes looking at it. I mean, look at it. What the hell's gone on there? They've been attacked by aliens with laser guns or something. I don't know, but anyway, so it goes looking in it. And obviously a fake. We think something's going to come out of the hole, but it doesn't. He turns round. Honestly, I've missed it now. Look. He turns round, and there we go. We know as the occultist. She does have a name. She's the big bad of the film, played by Eugenie Bondurant as the occultist. She does have a name. Does it say here what her name is? Yeah, Isla. She's called Isla. We'll learn more about her later. But she's the baddie in the film. Unlike the first two films, which were about ghosts, I suppose you could say, or poltergeists, or evil spirits, this one is about essentially witchcraft. Although it does have the possession angle, but the thing is, she's a witch, an occultist, who's essentially, well, for lack of a better word, conjuring demons and setting them on people. So, cursing people with a demonic possession. And it turns out what the demon's got to do, it's got to go through like a life cycle. It's got to possess somebody, get them to kill somebody, and then, end themselves. It's funny words you're not allowed to say on YouTube, but, Minecraft themselves, and then it'll move on. But anyway, so she appears out of nowhere magically, and then grabs hold of him. There we go, screams at him and stuff, and then he's like, "Oh, what was that?" And she disappears. Right, so there we are. The town of Brookfield they're in, by the way. Brookfield General Hospital. There's the priest coming back. We see Ed's there, he's not well. Lorraine's not leaving his side. We see their daughter. Is it Judith? Their daughter. I probably got that wrong. Knowing me. Judy, not Judith. Well, maybe it's short for it. I don't know. Judy Warren. She's in this as well, and a bit older. And last time we saw her, she was a kid, wasn't she? And now she's, I don't know, a teenager. Even though in real life she was a full-grown woman, once she was born during the war, wasn't she? The Second World War. But in here she's a kid, but she pops up later on. Anyway, so they're all there. Oh, she's then she says she's not going to leave him and all that stuff. And then he says, you've been together a long time. And then she goes on about how they met. They were 17, and he were working. There we go, as an usher to movie theatre and all that. And they fell in love, blah, 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 and all that stuff. Anyway, then we fade out because it's a poignant moment. Right, so here we see Arnie up a tree, which is kind of spooky because the day, as I said, I watched this yesterday, and earlier on in the day, I've had a mad couple of days. I was at my brother's. We were talking about one of my nephews who's got a job. He works for, I can't remember who he works for. Like a cable company, but he goes up poles, with using these leather straps, that they used to hold themselves up with. We're just talking about that, me and my brother yesterday, and then I watched this and see him doing it. So, oh, there you go, kind of spooky. Anyway, so he's obviously doing some work on this tree. They're at the Glatzels, I imagine, because he sees somebody in that window. Oh, we do. He's having trouble getting the chainsaw going. It's not starting, although we do see smoke coming from it. But then he looks. There we see that's Isla, the occultist, looking at him through the window. And he looks round, and she's gone. And then suddenly the chainsaw bursts into life, and he drops it, and they're all shouting at him. What the blinking flip! And so that was kind of spooky, but just an accident. Anyway. Right, so obviously he's not looking well, is he? He's looking a bit pale. So we're getting up to the main part of the film, the inciting incident for the trial. So he's going to go in. I think he's fixed Bruno. He fixes Bruno's record player. We see Bruno's a bit of a drunk. He's had a few drinks. So anyway, and we cut back to the hospital. Ed wakes up, and the first thing he does, he says, we've got to warn them. It's got the kid. And she says, no, David's fine. He says, no, it means Arnie. It's gone into Arnie. You've got to go and save him. Yes, the demon is beating him down from within. Yes, it is. Drawing all his energy into it. So she gets on the phone. I think she phones the police, and she says, you've got to get somebody over to the to wherever he is, some such and such kennels or the Glatzel house or whatever. But she says a tragedy is going to happen. You're not going to believe. I know you won't believe it, but a tragedy is going to happen. Anyway, it's fixed. It's fixed the music centre. It's just blasting music out. Can't remember what it's playing. Was it? Do we have a listen?
Don't make me drink alone.
Oh, right, Blondie, of course. Blondie. Call me. So he's getting Arnie to have a drink, but he's not looking well, is he? It's like as though he's flaking out or something, but he's obviously been well enough to fix his hi-fi. But anyway, so he has a drink, and anyway, obviously the demon takes him. Bruno is trying to get him to dance. Bruno's, he's K-eyed. But then he starts, grabs Debbie, tries to dance with her. This is Lorraine phoning the police. I know how this is going to sound, but a tragedy is going to happen. Look, he's not looking well. He's got to wash his face. And then he's in the kitchen, and then he sees Bruno. He thinks Bruno's attacking Debbie. Obviously, he's not, but he thinks that. And then he sees. We see that, a red light, and then Bruno appears as like some sort of demonic creature rushing towards him. He's going to show it, for Christ's sake. Where is he? Comes out of the shadows. There we go, to scare us. There we go. So he picks up his knife, there we go, gets his penknife out and stabs him. And then we fade to black. He's murdered Bruno. I think in real life, in the actual case, it happened during a party. Kind of out of nowhere, really. Debbie said that she saw, it was called Alan, wasn't it? Alan Bono. So saw Alan go one way, in a room, and went one way. And then she said Arnie went another way. And then the next minute, heard these screams, and suddenly Arnie had stabbed Alan loads of times. But not quite what happened in this film. And then the next thing, in real life, Arnie says, next thing he knows, he was in a jail cell. He doesn't remember anything about it. But the next thing we see here is Arnie. There we go. Arnie's stumbling down the road with his demonic eyes, and a police car stops. There we go, and says, "You all right, mate?" And he says, "I think I've done something terrible." Because he turns round and he's covered in blood. He's going to show it. Hang on. There we go. "I think I've done something bad." It's covered in blood. So that's when he gets arrested. And we find out that Bruno... Does he have a last name? Can't remember. Bruno, what's his face? Does it say? No, it just says Bruno there. Hang on. Does it say... No, it just says Bruno. Don't know his last name in this. Bruno Bono, we'll call him. In real life, he did he go to jail? Yes, he did. He did. Spoilers for the end of the film. He got he got sentenced to 10 to 20 years for manslaughter, and he served 5 for good behaviour. And while they were inside, while they were in prison, he married Debbie. She always stood by him, said it wasn't him, it was demon possession and that, and they tried to use that as a defence, but the judge were having none of it. But we don't see any of that, which is a shame. I'd like to have seen this as like a court film. What do they call them now? Yeah, a film. A trial film. Like the Exorcism of Emily Rose. I'd like to have seen that, but we don't really see it in this film. But anyway, but yes, he did go to jail. He spent 5 years in jail. Anywho. Right, so here we go. We're here in the local news. There we go. Bruno Sauls, the manager of a local dog kennel, stabbed 22 times. And it's the first murder in Brookfield's 193-year history. Oh, there, showing the dead body. I thought he killed the dogs as well. I'm just wondering, but I imagine they've taken the dogs away. So he's in prison now. And Ed and Lorraine are there, along with the prison chaplain. And he's reading from the Bible. He can touch holy relics and stuff like that. So they're saying he's not possessed right now. That's what they're suggesting. But it says it doesn't mean he wasn't possessed. But I don't know if he is possessed, but he's still around and influencing him. But because it's not your typical possession, as I said, it's like this witch has like seeked the demon on him, so it's like, I don't know, snapping at his heels all the time or something like that. But anyway, I think she was made up for the story, by the way. She's not connected in the real case. But she's sticking by him, is Debbie, as I said, and she marries him while he's in prison. But so they've got to go and talk to his lawyer now. What's his lawyer called? I don't know. Does it tell us? Do you know what? I have no idea. Why did it say? Well, it just tells the names. I don't know the bloody names. Tell us, just take the name and what they do in the film. No, it doesn't blooming say. Never mind. So they're talking to the lawyer, saying that he was possessed by a demon, and she's saying, I don't believe any of that. Note, you can't see for me. Hang on. Ed's in a wheelchair. As I said, he's not well. He's in a wheelchair. Can you still hear me? Because you never know. Yes, you can. Right. Ed's in a wheelchair, so she's not having any of it. Obviously, she says, I don't believe in that sort of stuff. And he says, how can I prove it in a court of law if you can't prove it to me? So they said, well, come to dinner and we'll show you our evidence that we've built up, proof of that we've built up over the years. I'll introduce you to Annabelle, he says, and she says, proof for the church is not the same as proof in the court of law. But anyway, so I'm guessing it works with her, because they said that, well, come have dinner, I'll introduce you to Annabelle and all that stuff. There you go, come over to our house for dinner, I'll introduce you to Annabelle. And suddenly we're in court. There we go, with her looking as though she's had the shock of her life. So I don't know what they showed her. Maybe it was just Annabelle, I don't know. But she looks as though she's had an epiphany, doesn't she? So she's now got to... this is the hearing where he's going to plead guilty or not guilty. And so there we go. He's on trial for murder in the first degree. And says, my client pleads not guilty by reason of demonic possession. I was like, hey? So, okay, fair enough. You'd have thought that they'd gone for temporary insanity or something like that, wouldn't you? Maybe that's what they went with in the end, which is why I only got manslaughter, I don't know, but anyway. Right, so they're wheeling Ed out. He said, look, I can walk down a flight of stairs, but anyway. So, she's saying they want the death penalty to the prosecution, and, and Arnie says he knows he's going to go to prison, but obviously they don't want him to be, put to death. So they're going to do what they can, I suppose. I don't know if they actually went to court or spoke to the lawyer. I don't know what happened but in the film, they are significantly involved. Anyway. Right, so what they're doing now. It's putting something down on tape. I don't know. Is it... that's it, yes. We're having a little recap. I've just remembered now. We're having a little recap of what happened when David first, were possessed, I suppose you could say. So this is them moving into the house. Very Amityville, innit? Not the house, I mean the situation. Family moving into a new house. Conjuring, etc. So here we go, and David sees. I don't know if we see him see the old man, but that's what he said he saw. I don't know if that's in real life or in the film. I can't remember. What is it? But there's a documentary about it. It made it. There was another film, a TV movie as well, made about this called "The Devil Made Me Do It," which I've not seen. So. I imagine that's a bit closer to what actually happened. Anyway, where were we? David's visions of the old man. Here we go. David recalled an old man suddenly appeared, pushing and terrifying him. But they didn't believe him, did the family, did his parents. But anyway, so I don't know if we're going to see the old man in this. I don't think we do. Not as such. He finds a waterbed in one of the bedrooms. There we go. Puts that box down on this bed and it all goes because it's a waterbed. So there we go. Pulls the sheet off and then we see it's a waterbed. Never slept on a waterbed, as if you. I haven't. Wonder what it's like. Anyway, he lies on it and then we see a weird face appear next to him. We saw it in the trailer. I don't see it in the film. Oh, here we go. I think it appears there. I'm going to see it. Come on. Go on. Is he going to show it? I can't play it for too long because I'll get a blooming copy. It's Warner Brothers. I'll get a copyright claim. There we go. We see a face there of something. So obviously it's scary. I don't know if he saw it or if he just felt something under him. But then something grabs him. Here we go. Something grabs him out of the... Oh, there we go. Don't trust me to miss it. There we go. An arm appears. You see, look, an arm's appeared and grabbed hold of him. And he's like, screaming and all that. And then his mother comes up. And so I'm guessing he's possessed now. Just He says, my goodness, I had that bed growing up just like that. What a water bed, crikey. I've never even seen a water bed. Never mind had one or been on one. Anyway, that was the first time he saw it. So they called in Ed and Lorraine. There we go. Is this now? No, this is not. Back to now. Now back to the present. You see, Ed's got a walking stick now. And she says there were water stains or something. It left stains on the floor. Wood got damaged when the mattress ruptured, and it pulls that rug up. And I'm not exactly sure what we see, to be honest. He says that's not water damage. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I don't know. It's just a mess, isn't it? I don't know. Was it holy water in the waterbed? I don't know. But I don't know. Is it, the evil, like that hole in the wall that was surrounded by the blackness around it? It just looked evil, didn't it? Is it just evil stuff? Oh, look, I've reached my target. My steps, because I'm just waving my arms about. Anyway, so she goes to looking around under the house now. So she's going to get scared by a rat. So he can't go down, can Ed, because he's not well. So she goes down as a route about. She sees a rat and it scares her. There we go. But then she finds something under the house. Any second now. She's rooting about. She finds like a totem, what's called a witch's totem. I think it's under that cloth. There it is. I'm going to show it. Oh, for Pete's sake. There we go. There we go. Witch's totem, made out of bones and stuff. A witch's totem. So it'd be like a hex thing, I imagine. So obviously somebody in the house has been cursed. Somebody's put it there. So she takes a photo. And there we go. Used by Satanists in their rituals. Anyway. So David was cursed. I mean, was it deliberately him that was cursed? I'm not exactly sure as to why. I don't know if it explains it in the film as to why David was targeted, or it just bad luck. I don't know. But anyway. And David's now passed the curse on to Arnie. Anyway. Right, so... the individual takes a life and the demon departs. But I don't think that's not it. As I said, I think then the possessed individual got to take their own life, and then the demon departs. But which is why Arnie was able to read from the Bible afterwards. But it's not entirely true, is it? Because it's not a regular demon possession. What's he saying here? What's he saying? Oh, yes. Got loads of photos loads of copies of the photo that she took of the totem. So wants I forgot his name already. Drew to pass them round police departments to see if they have any cases concerning that. But then suddenly he says this Father what's his face, I can't remember his name again. I'm bloody hopeless. Father Gordon says he's seen one of these before, and he remembers it from a case a while ago. And I forgot what they called the case, just bear with me. Disciples of the Ram, and a priest, like a Satanist group, and a priest infiltrated them and studied them, and it was so shocking to him he ended up retiring. He's not a priest anymore, and this is where we're going to meet John Noble. So I said, do you remember the priest? He says, yes. So we're going to go and see him. There we go, Father Caston, played by the great John Noble. Is he still with us? Because he must be knocking on now. Let me see. Is he still with us? Yes, he is. How old is he now? How old is John Noble now? He's only 77. I thought he'd be older than that, to be completely honest. Maybe he's one of these actors that's always looked old. Anyway, so there we go. They're going to go and see Castner, Father Castner. I don't know his first name. Anyway, here he is with his chickens. He's getting some eggs out. And he goes, oh, Father Castner. Offers them an omelette. He opens, he goes to shake his hand and says, my hands are covered in chicken shit. So, but anyway, come in. So they're asking him about the disciples of the ram. Well, they show him the photo of the totem, whatever you call it. I'm just wondering if I had a picture of it there, but I haven't. But anyway, seemed one similar, and so he's going to show them his collection, which he's got in his basement. What's it saying there? Someone had to put it under their house. So why has this family been targeted? Or maybe it was the family that were in there before. I don't know. Anyway, so looks evil there, doesn't it? So she decides she doesn't want to go down there. She has a bad feeling about it. So anyway, they go down, and this is kind of got a collection. I collected these while I was studying the disciples of the ram. So we've got a collection similar to what the Warrens have in their house. But he says it's like keeping guns off the streets. That's how he looks at it, and they'll look at each other because that's how Ed described their collection. Anyway, so he says, look around in here and see if there's anything you can find, and it could take ages, but so there we go. So we're talking about the group, the disciples of the ram. They did have powers from what they did, and he's talking about the lead prosecutor's wife was pregnant, and when she had her baby, it was born early, premature, with its heart on the outside of its body, and then I presume the baby died, and then she ended her life afterwards. But anyway, by laying her neck on a railroad track, I imagine, and then letting the train run over it. But anywho, so they're telling him, that the demon wants, his soul and all that stuff. And then we cut to, I don't know if this is Lorraine seeing this. Let's go back a bit. Or is it just showing us? See if Lorraine does a freaky thing. No, we're just cutting to it. We're just seeing what's happening now. So this is the occultist doing her occult things, Isla, the witch, doing her rituals. They were lighting black candles and stuff like that, and uttering sayings from whatever. And we see there she's got a photo there of Arnie. So obviously he's the target of the curse or whatever it is she's doing. Right, so back to the prison. There we go. Arnie's mopping it's not a hospital, the prison hospital floor in the middle of the night, in the dark, pretty much. Don't they have lights? So just switch lights on while I mop floor. No, you've got to do it in dark. Anyway, we see there's somebody there in the bed. So he's mopping the floor, and he knocks the bucket over there. It goes under one of the beds, and the orderly or whatever says, "You're going to clean it up or what?" "Yeah, sorry." But then something grabs the bucket. He goes underneath, and something pulls it away into the shadows. And so we think something's going to come out of the shadows, but it doesn't. But then we see this fella sat up, and he starts. He's not singing the words, but he's saying the words to the Blondie song, "Call Me." And then he freaks out. He has a freak out. There's Arnie. Oh, there we go. Because we see. Is this Bruno? Yes, Bruno appears and grabs hold of Arnie. So it's like a vision. He's having a vision, I'm guessing. So we see that the demon is still, around. They go running him and grab hold of him. It was here. I swear to God, it was here. So obviously they put him in solitary confinement or whatever now. Right, so I'm guessing the Warrens have gone back home. There we are. There they are at home. Got lots of. Imagine all these books as well are from Father Kastner's basement. So it's going through. She's got some flowers. As it say here? There we go. A bunch of flowers from the family from the first film. It says here. I forgot the names. There we go. The Perrin family sent her a bunch of flowers. And we see some more flowers that have been sent to her later on, which is like a clue for something. Right, so Drew phones up. He's got a bite. So they've got to go to this idyllic town, wherever it is. with a big factory next to it with broken windows. Yes, some 2 girls had gone missing. I think they found, one of them totems in the area. 2 girls had gone missing. They found one of the bodies, Katie, stabbed 22 times, much the same way that Bruno died in the same way. But they never found the other girl, whose name I've forgotten because I'm stupid. Jessica, I think. They never found Jessica. She's like the number 1 suspect, but they never found her. Remember, by the way, Lorraine. It isn't Lorraine. I forgot the bloody names. I'm going senile. I am Lorraine. Yes. Lorraine is like a psychic medium, and she says, "I'll help you find them." But the policeman doesn't really believe him, so he brings out some knives in a minute. She's telling him, "I can see things that your people can't," but obviously he doesn't believe her. So he goes to the evidence locker and takes out several knives. Says one of these is the knife used on Katie Lincoln, and Ed's saying, my wife doesn't perform at a carnival, and she picks out the right one straight away. So they take her to the where Katie's body were found. But I don't know if this is deliberate, but he drives straight past, the area, and she says he missed a turn, so obviously she knew. So I don't know if he did that deliberately or he just accidentally missed the turning, and she's correcting him. But anyway, there we go. So they go back. Right. Visitors' day at the prison. Debbie's standing by him. She's taking David with her. And he's saying, he's okay, but he's tired. He's not looking well, is he? But he's like drawing away from him. He don't want him to get hurt, obviously. And he's saying he's cold. And David says, I remember what it was like when all the things were going on. It got cold. So anyway, and they're saying when it's quiet, you can't sleep because it's never quiet in your head. You're hearing the voices and stuff like that, and your thoughts, you're not sure if you're having your own thoughts. Anyway, right, so they're in the woods, and she's using her psychic powers to find what's happened to Jessica. She finds the spot, I think, where they found Katie's body. We say something terrible happened here, but then she has a vision. She goes into the further, or whatever that were in Insidious, I know, but so she starts seeing what happened, and then we see, in a minute, we see Jessica and Katie. She's seeing spooky stuff. Here we go, see the 2 girls, and they're all having fun. It's Jessica and Katie, but then suddenly Jessica just stabs Katie for no reason. Well, yes, there is a reason, because she's possessed by the demon. Or whatever. Her eyes go, and she stabs Katie 22 times and runs off. And Lorraine's acting out the incident. And she goes running off. She goes, "What have I done?" And Ed goes running after her, but he can't keep up with her because he's not well. He's struggling with his heart. Justin says, I've watched some good documentaries on mediums and real cases that they were spot on some stuff. Yeah, I think there are some genuine, psychic mediums out there, but there are a lot that aren't, isn't there? But anyway. But I genuinely don't believe in the Warrens. I don't think they were genuine. Maybe they started out as genuine, I don't know, but there's something about them that just rubs me the wrong way, the real-life Warrens. I thought they were not nice people, in my opinion. Anyway, so she's running, and then she stops. Ed calls out, "Lorraine!" And she stops. She's at the edge of a precipice, as you can see there. A big drop into like a dam, isn't it? And he says, and she's there right on the edge. She starts walking back, and a hand grabs her. Oh no, nearly pulls her in. I bet this didn't happen in real life. But got to make it exciting. Much like in the Conjuring 2, where the ending of that happened. With the you were going to get skewered on a tree outside the house in Enfield. That didn't happen, did it? But anyway. So, anyway, he might have a heart problem, but he can still leap into action and grab hold of her. And if that were me, we'd have both gone in. It's water, they'll probably be fine. Anyway, she says Jessica's down there. She's down there. And then we cut to night time, and the police have arrived. And I imagine the dredging, whatever. They've got sent divers down to look. And they said that they had actually searched there before and not found anything. But they're having another look. Are you being naughty? Behave yourself. I don't think my cat's being naughty. Just as I think they were, but there were some issues, yes. But being that close to that stuff would affect you. Maybe so. Just there's something about them that just rubs me the wrong way. But anyway. But I kind of, there's that photo from the Amityville house. I think that's a real photo of the ghost of the little boy. People have said, on my channel, it's been debunked. And has it? Another explanation's been given, but has it been debunked? I don't know. Anyway, right, so obviously she's seen to Ed. She's giving him some pills, and he says, yes, he's got some of these pills that he put under your tongue to slow your heart down or whatever. And says, yes, I've got some, but I forgot to pick them up, which is for later if I get some again later on. Anyway, right, so they found her body. We've dragged this base in twice, but anyway, so they do find another body. But anyway, they're back at their motel. Judy phones up. We've been leaving messages all day. Is it Judy or is it Debbie? Oh no, it's Debbie, isn't it? Debbie's phoning them. Saying that Arnie says that it's followed Arnie, and it wants him. His voice in his head, it's wanting him to kill himself. So they said to her, phone the prison, tell the prison chaplain to put Arnie on suicide watch and all that stuff. There you go. And then the phone goes dead. Just as he says that, there's like a and the phone goes dead. Right, so I don't know if they have done yet, but he's kind of in solitary, I think. He's like in this little room by himself. The priest is there talking to him, and he's giving him some holy water. Are you being naughty? Oh, bloody cat of mine. He's giving him a little vial of holy water in his cell. Right, so here we go. The demon, it's not there of its own free will. It was summoned. That's it's this witch that's doing it, Isla. Which is why it's not doing what regular demons do, I suppose you could say. But anyway, right. So there he is. He's going to have another vision, I think. He's freaking out. He pours out the holy water in a circle. There we go. And he's saying the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, all that stuff. Right, Palmary Funeral Home, which I think Palmary, is that the name? I've seen it somewhere. Is it in Annabelle? Hang on, it might be in. It might say in here actually. I'm going to have to do a Control F. I think it's in Annabelle. I think it's the name of Control F. Have I done it? There it is. Of the apartment block in Annabelle. Yes, it is. Yes, the funeral home shares the same name as the apartment buildings in Annabelle, Palmary. Yes. So there you go. Right. So they've got to go. Lorraine said she touched David's hand and she saw like what were going on. She had like a vision when she touched David back at in the exorcism and all that. So she wants to go and touch Jessica's hand because they found Jessica's body and Jessica's now at this funeral home. So they've got to go there, but nobody's in because it's the middle of the bleeding night. It's locked. So, there's nobody there. So Ed just smashes the window with his walking stick and says, "We'll leave a note." Does it? I don't know. I don't think this happened in real life either. But anyway, they go in. They find Jessica's body a bit. Well, no, they're looking round, but Ed's looking round, looking under checking the toe tags. That's what I'm trying to say. But Lorraine just knows, and she goes straight, straight to the body. She knows where it is because she's psychic. And I was actually, before that, I was thinking when we saw Ed looking at them, we were looking at the toe tags, and I was thinking, Lorraine's supposed to be psychic. Why does she know where it is? And then she does. So I thought, fair enough, fair enough. So anyway, so there we go. There's Jessica's hand looking a bit icky, but she has been in a lake for God knows how long. So she's going to have a touch and see what she can see, and she does. She astrally projects, I suppose, to see what happens. So here she goes. There she goes. She's somewhere underground, I think. Well, she doesn't know that, but she can hear a train. We can hear a train. Hang on. Justin says, I agree they did seem off, but I also see stuff about them that makes me kind of side with them. I don't think they were 100% fake, but I don't know. As I said, there's something about them that just gets on my nerves. But as I said, that Amityville photo, I think that were real. But I think maybe they started off with the best of intentions, but as they got more famous, as the type, particularly in the 70s and 80s, as they became like America's preeminent demonologists, didn't they? And I think as they got, probably the pressure mounted for them to, produce results, and they were always wanting to. It seems as though you hear people say they were always wanting. They were saying things like, "We can make a lot of money, off a book about this case and stuff like that." They seem to be into the money. But, sorry, my cat's really being annoying. You want to go out? My cat wants to go out. Bear with me. Just look at Lorraine for a minute while I go let the cat out. Yeah. Are you a pest? Eh? To go out. Blooming animals. What they like. But anyway, I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, the Warrens. A few people have said, that the Warrens, are, particularly Ed, have said that they could make a lot of money off, books and stuff like that about these cases. But anyway, Justin says, I think they did kind of push their results at times to make money. I know what you mean, yeah. So I think that kind of, sullied them a little bit, didn't it? But it's a case of he said, she said, isn't it, really? But anyway. Where were we? Oh, yes, she's having a vision, isn't she? She's touching Jessica's hand. But I think they had good intentions overall. I think they did at the start. But anyway, because apparently, I don't know, Ed wasn't, they weren't angels, were they? Let's put it that way. I mean, Ed had like an affair or whatever, had a kid with a young woman, didn't he? But anyway, so she's in this place that it looks like it's underground, but she doesn't say it is. It's like in some sort of basement or whatever, cellar. But we can hear a train, muffled train noises in the distance, and she says there's water dripping, and she's found some stairs, and she's going up. We see that there's a religious icon there, and then. She's looking through the occultist eyes, and she sees the black candles and all that stuff. And they were going to I don't know, is it a grimoire? I don't know. But so she realised what's going on. There goes. She's doing it again. Oh, she's got a thing with some bones in and some herbs and all that stuff. So there you go. She's she's seen it in real time. It seems she's seeing the occultist taking possession of Arnie. He's got his vial of holy water, which is now empty. And there we go. She makes him break it in his hand, so he's all bleeding. She's going to try and get him to take his own life. There you go. She's acting it out there, and she stops her just in time. There's Lorraine. I think she calls out or something, but they see him. There we go. Got a cutter. But then Lorraine's there, and then the occultist sees her. She says, "Oh, it's a two-way thing. She can see me as well." She says, "What you doing here?" There we go. The connection works both ways. And then the lights go out, just for because it's on the timer. Why would you have it on a timer? I don't know, but anyway. So he goes to put the lights back on, and I think he turns round and sees. I think it's Bruno. We see a figure there. I think it's Bruno, or is it maybe just one of the other dead bodies? I don't know, to be honest. But it goes for him. There we go. Looks all evil and wicked. I don't think it is Bruno, is it? It's like me with gut. But anyway, there we go. No, it's not. That's not Bruno, is it? Anyway, it attacks him and it falls down. And think, what's going on here? Did they ever explain that? Did they go to the police? Oh, we broke into the funeral home and this weird stuff happened, and one of the bodies might be on the floor, or did they just get out of there? I don't know. Did it have CCTV? Who knows? It's in 1981, I think this is set in. But CCTV were a thing in the 80s, early 80s, wasn't it? Anyway, so they've come back home. So they've got to work out what's going on, who's doing this, and why. So they're going through cases, similar cases, and the histories and all that stuff. And there we go. Once started, the curse must be completed. So they've got to find a way to save Arnie. I presume while this is going on, I presume the trial is happening. I don't know, but we never see any of it. She's trying to explain where she was. She doesn't know. She heard a train, and there was water dripping from the ceiling. So somewhere near water, I don't know, but somewhere near train tracks anyway. And so it might be somewhere underground. Anyway, right. Oh my! Then he collapses. He collapses, does Ed. So then he wakes up, and this is what's happening now. Is not really happening. I don't think. Is he having a vision, or is it a dream, or is it the occultist doing something to him? I think it is. I think it's the occultist supposedly doing something to Ed. Because he gets up, he's at home, he sees the front doors open, and it looks as though it's been forced open. He's saying, Lorraine! And there's nobody there. Where is everybody? And then he sees her, the occultist, there she is. She looks a lot like, I know it's not, it looks like, I've got his name now, Doug Jones. She looks like Doug Jones, like a female Doug Jones. Anyway. She basically warns him off, basically. And he uses his religious his religious beliefs as a shield. What's that? What's happening there? It's this another body from the morgue. Or is it the same one? I don't know. But anyway, it comes running up the stairs at him. Flee, unclean spirit. And he's going to stab this cadaver that's attacking him, and then suddenly we come back to reality, and Drew's there, and Lorraine's there, and he were attacking Lorraine. So what's going on? He says, she were here. I can't remember what he's looking for. He's looking for something. Obviously, I don't know if these are the flowers from the Perrin family, but they've all gone all manky. They haven't been there that long. They've gone all dried and dead, look. I thought it was Jackie from Roseanne at first. It's something I've never really watched, Roseanne. I think I might have seen the odd episode, but they did show it over here, but it was something I never got into. Anyway. Right, so, yes, that's it. Them flowers are all dead. So maybe they're not from. I think it's these that were supposed to be from the Perrons. I think they're all dead, and he looks inside and sees something, but we don't see what he sees, and he drops it, drops the vase, and it smashes on the floor, and we see inside is one of those totems. So now Ed's being cursed. So is he going to get possessed? Don't know. I don't think he does. I'm thinking now. I can't remember. Anyway. So they've got more things to worry about. So she's there visiting in hospital, the prison hospital. Lorraine's going to see Father Castner to get some more information from him. He's with Drew. They're trying to work out where this vision might have been, where she heard the train, where the occultist is. And anyway, they work it out, and they work out that the closest match on the map, because I think near a railway line, because she heard a train, and it's thought it were at night, because it were happening, in real time. She were watching what were happening in real time. So it was like close to midnight, and it works out that the only train line that would be working at that time were a freight line, and so they know where it was, and it's right near Father Castner's house. So she's gone to see him, and it turns out, so he goes, comes up to ask you some more questions, and he's describing this cult, the Disciples of the Ram. That I think he ended up getting into them, if you know what I mean. He kind of believing what they believe, sort of thing. And then he starts explaining that there was a young girl or something that were part of the cult, and a baby or something were born out of, came out of the cult, born out of wedlock. Maybe it was his kid. I can't actually remember. I'll have to check. Just bear with me. Oh dear. Rum-ti-tum-ti-tum. Just a minute. I'm just. Yes, it is. Yes. That's it. Yes. Right. So he had a child. This is why he's not a priest anymore. Why he's not in the church anymore, because he had a child raised about. Don't know who the mother was. Doesn't tell us. That the child called Isla, and as he were researching the cult, the Disciples of the Ram, she became fascinated with it, and started doing their rituals and all that stuff. She became the occultist. So Isla, the occultist, is Father Castner's daughter. Right, that's what I'm trying to get at. There you go. You had a child, raised her here in secret. There you go. Isla, age 20, 1952. So she's knocking on. Anyway, I think now they're going to do they're going to end up doing an exorcism on Arnie in the prison hospital. I bet that didn't happen in real life either. But anyway, so she's all looking shocked. There's tunnels under this land. Her altar must be down there. So she's got to go down into where she didn't want to go earlier on. She's there. I think she kills him now. I think she kills her father. There we go. She cuts his throat. That's what she does. She cuts his throat and kills him. Anyway, but Lorraine's gone down into the creepy basement looking for the tunnels. And then there she finds the altar and all that stuff. But then Isla appears and things go on. But meanwhile, Ed's arrived and he's looking for her. She's calling out to him, Ed, 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 etc. And he hears it from this grate. I don't know why he's not gone in the house and gone where she went. He finds, luckily, there's a grate there. And he finds a big mallet. I presume that's That's why they've done it this way, so he can have a big mallet which he's going to use later. But use this huge mallet, there we go, and smashes the lock. Locks in films, padlocks in films are really easy to get open, aren't they? To smash open. I know I've said this before in another stream, that I once tried smashing a padlock at my shed. It rusted shut a little bit, not a lot. And I'll smash it off with a hammer. Couldn't do it. I'd probably smashed it off the door before smashing the lock. Eventually got into it. I think I used some WD-40. But anyway, right. So she's weird stuff's happening down in the tunnels. I don't really know what this is showing. She sees herself like a mirror image, a bit like in The Last Jedi when Rey sees herself in that mirror. Well, I don't know, but there we go. She's seeing herself. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but then there we go. Isla leaps on her. She's trying to stab her in the eye. No, so they're fighting away. But luckily Ed's gonna get here in a minute. Hang on, what's happening now? Oh, she whacks her with her. She picks up a stone and hits her with a stone. But there we go. Ed's arrived with his big mallet. He's asking where Lorraine is. Hang on. But is it this bit? No, not yet. Lorraine's there. See, now they're doing the exorcism on Arnie. Now the light changes in the hospital. I'm guessing everybody's seeing this in the hospital, or the orderlies or whatever. They're all seeing everything kicking off because it floats in a minute. But anyway, and then we cut back again to see young Ed and young Lorraine being in love and all that, and meeting for the first time. But there he is. There you go. So he's floating and all that, and all the windows are breaking. I wonder if that's on the official prison logs. I don't think this really happened. But there we go. She's controlling him. Is the occultist? She's wanting him to kill himself. So it's not really a demon possession, is it? When all's said and done, so it kind of is. Maybe it's using demon-like powers, but it's more of a witchcraft thing, isn't it? Where she's taking control of their bodies. I don't know, but anyway, she's possessing Ed somehow. I don't know how. She's doing both at once. And he was going to use Ed to brain Lorraine. I know that rhymes. With the sledgehammer. Obviously he doesn't, and he smashes the altar instead. Like that. Smashes the altar with the sledgehammer. And that stops everything. That puts everything back to normal. And saves them. I don't know what's happened to Isla. Oh, there she is. Isla arrives. With her knife. You promised a demon a soul, he's saying to her, and now the demons are going to take her soul. So she all contorts. Yes, like voodoo. Yes, it's that sort of thing, isn't it? That sort of thing. But no, there is a demon involved, because we're going to see the demon. Here it comes, look, with its glowing eyes out of the shadows. But it's just her, isn't it? It's just the demon form of her. Anyway, it takes Isla. Obviously, none of the occultist stuff happened, I don't think. They just made it up for the film. But they're fine. She's got one of his tablets, and there we go, the police arrive. And there we go. So everything's hunky-dory. All right, back at the Warren's house in their museum or whatever. What has he got here now? I don't know what that is. So where's that from? Did we see this in the film? There's always something from each case, don't there? I have no idea. Was it on the altar? It must have been on the altar, one of these cups. But we don't see any of the other stuff. There we see, look, the nun. Oh, apparently, I forgot to notice earlier on. We're supposed to have seen that earlier on in the film, the nun. But there's the nun there behind him. But earlier on, I think it was at Bruno's, there's supposedly something on the wall that looks like the nun. and I forgot to look. We'll have a look at afterwards if I can find it. I forgot to check. It's just popped in my head. Anyway, that is. We don't see the stuff. Usually they put them next to the things from the other films, and they haven't done on this case. But there we see Annabelle over there in her case. I can't remember from the other films. Like there were the I forgot to call it now. The Zoetrope thing, wasn't there? I think, and there were like a musical box, wasn't there? Something like that. Oh yes, on the altar. Yes. But anywho, right. So alright, then we're going to court to hear the jury. Now she runs up to him and gives him a kiss. Says, "I love you." And this is the policeman going to. I'm guessing that's Jessica's a marker for where they found Jessica. I'm guessing. So this policeman has closure. But anyway, so the jury has found him guilty of manslaughter. There we go. And he sentenced 10 to 20 years, and he served 5 for good behaviour. And they were married in prison. It says they are still married to this day, but I think she's died, I think, in real life. Let's have a look. Where is it? I've seen it somewhere. It says Johnson and Debbie, Arnie and Debbie, wholeheartedly support the Warrens' account of demonic possession and have stated that the litigants were suing simply for the money. The litigants, where are we? So obviously somebody tried to sue them then. Glatzel's father, Carl Glatzel Sr., denies telling the author that his son was possessed. I'm guessing, the author of the book. Cause there was a book called The Devil Made Me Do It. So we won't call that what it was called, something else. Where Demons Dwell. No, that's a TV show. Where is it now? I've seen it somewhere. The Devil in Connecticut by Gerald Brittle. That was the book. So denies telling him about demon possession. So I don't know. What was I saying? I was looking up Debbie. I think she's passed away as Debbie. Just bear with me so I can find it. But she's on. They do appear. Arnie Johnson and Debbie Johnson. On this. So she was alive when the film came out, but I think she has. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. She's passed away. If I can blooming find it. Where have I seen it? I've seen it somewhere. Where have I seen it? No, I'm probably thinking of something else. Come on, where have I seen it? Bear with me. I'm going to have to do a search. I've seen it somewhere. I don't know where I've seen it. Yes, she passed away from cancer. When? Obviously after the film came out. So the last couple of years she has passed away. We don't say when. 2021. There we go. Debbie died in 2021 of an unspecified form of cancer. So she stood by him until her death in 2021. Anyway, so there we go. Meanwhile, Ed takes Lorraine out into the garden and he's built her a gazebo or whatever. It just show it. I don't know why I don't know. Did they mention it in the film? I have no idea. But Ed, I'd love a gazebo, and he built one. or bought one and had somebody build it. I don't know, but she loves it, and I don't know what significance it has, but she likes it. It's to show that they're in love, and what better way to show that you're in love is to build her a gazebo. Anyway, and that's it. That's the end. Oh, and then we cut to the real life. Ed and Lorraine Warren. And then we cut to the tapes.
Leave this child alone.
Kind of spooky.
It's on your forehead. Chris loves this boy. This is his child.
Wake him out of it. Start him up. Do something. David, Mom is here. Mom is here. Come on, wake up. Come on.
It's kind of spooky. I don't like listening to real life stuff like that, 'cause it kind of freaks me out. But anyway, so there we go. So that's the end of The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. And it's not bad. It's not a bad flick, I must admit. It's not as good as the first two. I'm not a huge fan of the Conjuring films as it is. I'm one of these people that prefers the Annabelle films, even though they're completely made up. These might as well be. But, yeah. So there we go. It's not too bad. Not a bad flick. Not a bad flick. I'm going to go back and look on in that... what's his face's house? The kennel, isn't it? You're supposed to see the nun somewhere at the kennel. Let's get there. See if we get to the kennel. Supposed to see the nun in the background somewhere, but I missed it. So, come on, where are we? Where are we? Here, right, so they're coming now. There we are. Get back to that. Get back to this. So, where is it? Somebody says, some I'm sure it says somewhere. Hang on. Is it? Did I see it in this trivia thing? I'm going to have to type in nun now. Control F. Nun. No, not that. Not that. Where are we? Where are we? Oh, see. Or maybe it was all about that bit was all at the end. I thought they meant in here. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere. It's in here. I'm looking. Oh, I think it's supposed to be that, isn't it? But it doesn't look anything like the nun. Maybe it's that we're on about. I don't know. Can't see anything. Can't see anything. I think they were fibbing. I'm looking. I thought they said like over a fight in a fireplace or something like that. Where did I see it? I can't remember where I saw it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Around 13 minutes in Arnie's bedroom, inside the cinder block, is a nun figure that resembles the nun from previous Conjuring movie. 13 minutes. Oh, I'm miles bloody past that, aren't I? Right, let's have a look. In Arnie's bedroom, a cinder block. Where the hell's a cinder block? Have a look then. Where was the cinder block? I don't know what they're talking about. I'm gonna bloody see this blooming cinder. Oh, there we go. There we go. That cinder block there, isn't it? Can you see? I don't know if you can see. Where are we? There, that's the nun, isn't it? I was expecting it being like all spooky. It's just a figure of a nun, isn't it? I thought they meant some weird. She was stood in the corner or something like that. Stupid film. It was not bad. It was interesting. Yeah, we're all right. We're all right. It wasn't too bad. Anyway, so there we go. So that's The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. It's just one more to go, isn't there? The Last Rites, which I've not seen that either. It's not out yet, is it? I don't think. On home media. But anyway, we'll get round to that one eventually. Right, so anything else? Let me have a look at the trivia, see if there's anything else interesting that I can mention. Nothing jumping out at me. I didn't take any particular notes. Yeah, just that about that when he contorted at the beginning, David, that were all in camera, apart from they just replaced her face. Emerald Gordon Wolfe, a 12-year-old contortionist. No special effects added to the movements at all. The only special effect was putting Julian's face on her. All of those contortions were in camera. She did all of that. She was able to twist her head round into that position. You could make a whole movie about her. She could be her own Cirque du Soleil act. So there you go. Although the legal procedures were not shown in the case, the judge of Arnie Cheyenne Johnson's trial rejected the defence plea of not guilty by demonic possession, stating that such a defence would be impossible to prove, also stating it would be relative and unscientific to allow testimony in support of the possession defence. So I'm guessing during the trial then that it was never brought up apart from, in the initial plea. The jury were not legally allowed to consider the demonic possession defence, and Johnson's lawyer then instead argued self-defence. Johnson was found guilty of first-degree manslaughter on November 24th, 1981. Johnson was sentenced to 10 to 20 years in jail, but only served 5 due to good behaviour. He and Debbie Glatzel married while he was in prison and remained so until her death from cancer shortly before the film's release. So there we go. I think Lorraine Warren died as well just before this film came out, maybe a couple of years, but I think while the film were in production, I think Lorraine Warren passed away in 2019. So there we go. Yeah, we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. What's next? Well, I'm seeing the 45th anniversary of The Shining on the big screen. Cool. And The Shining is one of these weird films that I'm not a huge fan of, but it's kind of a film I respect. A bit like Blade Runner. I'm not a massive fan of Blade Runner, but I do like putting it on in the background. I'm more of a fan of the effects and the music and the atmosphere of the film rather than the story. And the same thing with The Shining. It's weird. Anyway, and in January 40th of Labyrinth. I don't like Labyrinth. Not a fan of Labyrinth. I did Labyrinth for Monday Moan. Oh dear. Anyway, what's that doing back on? Oh, wow, we went looking for that thing, didn't we? Never mind. Right. Anyway, we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted. What's coming up next? I'll tell you. What day is it? Friday. So I don't know if I'm doing anything on Sunday. I don't know. I've ordered a new desk for my computer. It probably won't fit, so I'm going to be moving all this lot about. But I'll probably leave it till the new year. But the new desk is coming tomorrow. I have no idea where I'm going to put it until the new year. Anyway, that's by the by. But on Monday, I've just got this on. I've just got this on DVDs. Let me take the sticker off. I went down to CEX, which is like a my second-hand games and films and stuff. And got this for Monday. The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. I know my son's got it. I knew my son had it on DVD. But I couldn't find it. So I went down to CX, found it for £1.50. Thought I'd buy that. Then went up into his bedroom and then found it straight away. So we've now got 2 copies. Anyway, that's on Monday. The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. Blade Runner is a masterpiece. I agree, I think it is, but it's just a film that I'm not a massive fan of, apart from the music and the effects and the atmosphere of it. I think Douglas Trumbull's effects in Blade Runner are astonishingly amazing, and still hold up to this day. Is sadly overlooked effects maestro Douglas Trumbull, but Shining is good, but overrated a bit. again, it's another one that I do think The Shining is a masterpiece, but it's a film that I'm not a massive fan of. Although, you know, I don't dislike it. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. Yeah, so there we go. So that's what's happening. Next Friday, I can't remember what next Friday's film is. I'll have to check. Just a minute. I've got it on me. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Because I've got me schedule, haven't I, for Christmas. So what's next week's Friday Night Appointment with Fear? It's The Children from 2008, which I do have got it on disc over there somewhere. Probably not be able to find it. I think I've got it anyway. I hope I have. So it's The Children next week, which is a Christmassy film, and it is pretty good, I must admit. And I actually thought we'd done it, but I searched, and we haven't. But so there we go. So that's next week's. And next I'll tell you what we're doing. Next week for Magnificent Mondays, it's Chronicles of Narnia, and then Friday Night Appointment with Fear is The Children. Then for Magnificent Mondays, we've got White Christmas. This is for in December. Then Rare Exports. Then Violent Night. The Ginger Dead Man. Windgrace has always been trying to get me to do The Ginger Dead Man. Finally doing it. I've not got a physical copy of that, but it is on Amazon Prime over here. Then Muppet Christmas Carol. Anna and the Apocalypse. Which I've got here. There we go. Anna and the Apocalypse, which is like a horror musical. A few musicals, by the way, I'm doing over the Christmas. The Santa Claus the movie. Hang on, which way am I going? Here we go. And then Christmas Bloody Christmas, which I've not seen, but again, that's on Amazon. Shudder is actually on. And finally, on 5th of January, It's a Wonderful Life. So that's what the films that are coming up in December and early January. Justin says, not a masterpiece. I'm still about The Shining. The TV version was better. I've not seen that one. Not seen the TV one. It's the Stephen King approved version, isn't it? The TV one. But I've not seen it. Just my opinion. But you're going to go see it, aren't you? On the big screen. Which should be good. Should be good, I hope. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, Justin, for keeping me company as we go through The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Thanks for the $2 super chat. It's hugely appreciated. So we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. So thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other. Don't have nightmares. And until next time. Hang on. Where have I put it? There we go. And until next time, I'll say there.